ranking my top 5 Umamusume characters that should get their own anime. In the top 5 we have Forever Young, already one of the most accomplished Japanese horses outside of Japan, and still racing. Would be a great way to introduce a race like the Breeders' Cup that the horse won in 2025. However, due to it being mostly an international horse, most of its races would have as rivals horses that are unlikely to win the game due to licensing issues. That's why it's at the bottom of the list. In number 4 we have Marusensky, easily the oldest horse that is constantly referenced. It would allow side games to get another unique heir in the mix, and they can make a unique story throughout the struggles of Marusensky never being allowed to race in the best races during her career. But it might be seen as a similar story to a recently portrayed in the Cinderella Grey anime, so it drops a couple spots. Number 3 goes to the Tyrant itself, Orfevre. Orfevre would be a fantastic addition to a roster of protagonists. Early struggles, a big collapse in the middle of its career, some great rivalries with Win Variation and Gentle Donna, multiple successful international stints, and a triumphant return to retire in Japan, alongside some tragic stories related with a real-life horse. Would easily be number 1 if it wasn't because of its extreme personality that might be too much for a protagonist. Second spot is for Almond Eyed, a mostly dominant career with certain missteps along the way. Feels like the perfect protagonist if they ever release a 4th season of the original anime. Several different rivals over the years, an international race in which the biggest competitor is also in the game, and potential to go through multiple routes in order to talk about different unexplored themes. But the one that should get an anime the most is easily Vodka. The perfect story to get an anime about. It has everything. A great rivalry with Daiwa Scarlet early in its career, and the only one in the franchise that would allow us to question which girl was actually better. Multiple long slumps, and back-to-back years in which the horse didn't participate in the Area McKinnon, despite leading the vote in both of those years. But an insane dominance as an older horse alongside another potentially great rival in company. A great horse for a secondary arc that got its 2 career G1 wins as an 8-year-old horse, and the first one beating Vodka. It would also be a great introduction to the Triple Tiara, and her personality is unique yet not too extreme for it to feel weird compared to the other protagonists. It's extremely awkward that such an interesting horse and rivalry is the only one that hasn't been relevant in any season of the anime from Team Spica. It's about to be a decade since the IP exists, and I think that Vodka is in the perfect time to shine.